You cannot buy time, but you sure can lose it. Hi, I'm Fernando Fontecha. I'm a Mexican transplant living in Seattle, navigating through life and just sharing my process while doing so. The last few months of 2024, or rather the second half of 2024, I weren't what I would call my most productive self, at least not in the traditional sense. I was actually learning how to live in the present. Between my brother's wedding, my parents moving out of Mexico City, and somehow becoming that person who actually enjoys running, I wasn't expecting these changes to affect me in such a good and big way. But here's the thing, these changes actually helped me shift my perspective on how I perceive time and opportunities, and what it really means to be productive. And all of this thanks to Matthew McConaughey's memoir. So let's talk about Greenlights. No, I don't mean just traffic lights. Matthew's memoir portrays this philosophy on how he perceives life as a gathering of small opportunities that change colors, hence referencing traffic lights. Take my brother's wedding, for example. This seemed like a simple enough family celebration, but in reality it was a massive green light moment. We weren't just celebrating his marriage, but a transition into his new life. At the moment, I realized there are a bunch of paths and routes that we can take in life. However, all of these paths will lead to where you want to be in life. Rarely there is only one single option, one single path to choose from. There are a bunch of intersections where life paths converge. My parents moving out of Mexico City? Another green light. This marks a new chapter on their life as opposed to it being an ending. Finally, there's running, something I would never thought I would enjoy. I like to believe that each run is a perfect metaphor for Matthew's philosophy. No two runs will ever be exactly the same. Even if we take the same route at the same time of day with the same pace, there's something different each time, and that's us. We are ever evolving. We will never be the same person that we were yesterday, or we won't be the same person tomorrow that we are today. I like to see this as a green light in motion, both figuratively and literally. Maybe not literally, but you know what I mean. This book has taught me opportunities aren't just about going forward. Sometimes a bad opportunity or a red light can actually be an opportunity to take a step back, reflect on ourselves, and just recalibrate. These are not obstacles. These are chances to gain perspective. I know this past year wasn't about big achievements. It was about understanding how life is presented as a constant flow of routes and paths that we can take. The important thing is to be aware, to be present, and be ready for these changing lights. Carissa from Life of Risa has this phrase that I feel captures this perfectly. Say yes now and figure it out later. It's not only about embracing uncertainty and trusting our instincts, but also understanding that where you are now was once a future we were uncertain about. And yet, here we are just fine. We figured it out as we went through this life. The second half of 2024 was about me breaking my patterns. Between many travels and family milestones, I realized something. Life isn't about rigid plans, but it's about being present. I travel more than I probably should have, baked way more cake and pastries than any reasonable person would, and essentially gave myself permission to get out of my mold, baking pun intended. But this wasn't about being reckless. Each traffic light I took, let it be green, yellow, or even red, was a deliberate choice to get out of my comfort zone. For 2025, my approach is simple. Just stay curious and remain open. No more endless scrolling, hoping to find dopamine, or waiting for the perfect moment. The moment is now. And as cheesy as it sounds, it's changing every single second, so we should totally embrace this change. Life isn't a fixated path. It's a continuous journey of opportunities. Some you'll take, some you'll miss. The key is to keep living in the present.